Probably just have to start talking to make this video because I've been thinking about it and I'm not really sure of some specific way I should address and begin. So I'll just start out with what's on my mind, and it's been life and death issues lately. Not so much from the pandemic, but that kind of started the whole thing. It just seems like it's everybody's got that on their mind for some reason. Got to, plenty of us have lost family members and friends, and people we don't like too. Shit, right? But it's just been heavy on my mind with my mom doing her chemotherapy, which is ridiculously wrong thing to do as far as I'm concerned. Do a little research, but she's gonna do what she wants to do. Apparently, I'm on my way up to my aunt's. Her husband died about a week ago. I need to make sure her car's going because she's way up here in the woods, Shalachi Prairie. So yeah, it's just been on my mind a lot lately. Things about death and dying. Not that I'm, morbidly fascinated with things like that. Just because I'm not. It's never been something I thought about greatly, and honestly, pretty isolated a lot. There's not been a lot of people in my life that I've lost. A few. My best friend at one time, and it's just a lot of stuff coming up. I guess I'm at that age, right, where if I have family members that are still alive, from previous generations, they're getting pretty old now, and I've had enough health things that I basically consider I died in 2016, but somehow I didn't die. I just had to be tortured continuously until my crazy treatment methods began to work, and they are working. But good luck telling anybody, because nobody will do them. Half the people will not even believe what I say. Think I'm nuts. And, let alone the ones who might believe what I say, they wouldn't do it, even if they're having the same kind of problems. They wouldn't, because it seems too out there. But that's not really what's on my mind. It's just, I think about, I don't know, having conversations about how you want to die. I'm not saying that I've planned out my death or anything, or this is how I want to die, but I'm just thinking, what if as you get close to that time and you can tell, you don't have too many days left, and what if you were to feel like you didn't want, your family around watching you die or being upset? They'll probably be upset anyway, right? You hope they will. But maybe you want to die alone. Maybe you just want to, go on walkabout in the mountains and not come back. Now, that sounds bad, I know. You'd be like, oh, no closure for people. But, what if you don't want to die surrounded by your family? What if you just want them to live their lives and you to be able to face your next, what would you call it? Your next adventure alone, the way you come into this world. You come in the world alone, unless you're a twin or a triplet, I guess. And, you don't necessarily leave it alone. Individually, I should say, not alone. Individually. We come into this world individually, our consciousness, and we leave it individually. But to where we go, we don't know. But do we really, I couldn't imagine being confined to some, hospital bed or hospice care or whatever, someplace to just go and sit and lay around until I die. That sounds like horrible to me. I'd almost rather be lost at sea. I'd rather be sailing my boat and I can't sail it anymore and end up, becoming shark food. That's a natural way, right? Or what if one of your family members? I mean, what do you think? God damn it! Look at that shit. See, I'm thinking about death and what happened. Fucking little kitty runs out in front of me. Was that a kitty or a bunny? Oh, there's a squirrel trying to get some of them too. Here I'm talking about death, and there it is. Ba-bam! I killed something, motherfucker. I hit the brakes, but what was he waiting for? He was waiting for me to come up so he could run right out in front of me. That's great. That's how my cat Buttercup died too. And it was kind of my fault that she was following me, that I was going to the store, and she got run over by the only car that came by because she ran out in front of it. What the hell? I don't even know if that was a cat. I thought maybe it was a rabbit. Probably was a rabbit. Running from a cat, maybe? I don't know. What the hell ever. So yeah, death. Thinking about dying. I don't want to get run over by a car. That doesn't seem like a good plan, but whoever said you only live once is probably full of BS. That seems like a way to, I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of philosophy lately. I hate to admit it, but I really agree with Schopenhauer a lot. I also agree with Nietzsche a lot. Not completely. Schopenhauer almost completely. Of course, he was greatly influenced by the Upanishads, that's what I gather, so. And I've been greatly influenced by my understanding of what I've learned about Hindu philosophy and India. I mean, Mark Twain said, supposedly, the supposed Mark Twain supposedly said, anything that could be done in this world has already been done in India. Something to that effect. The land is so old, anything that could ever be done has already been done and forgot about there. And it looks that way. I mean, that place is old as old as old. It's older than the hills. If you were to dig down under all the dirt and the trees, you'll find gigantic stone blocks that make the world. At least in India. Out here in the boonies. God, what's this freaking rabbit? Whatever. Of course, caught on video. Whatever. Anyway. Went out to see my aunt, get her car going, and I don't know. Probably have some good conversations with her. She's my aunt that we didn't get along for a long time. We had it out a few different times. But, she's a bit overbearing and a loudmouth kind of, and not so much a know-it-all, but kind of a know-it-all, but very loud and kind of pushy in some ways and in your face. Whereas I'm generally real low-key and mellow, but if I feel strongly about something, I'll speak my mind, and I don't like being, told I don't know what I'm talking about or to shush it because some supposed authority said this or that or the other. Our authority figures are simply there to deceive us. That's what they're there for. You become an authority figure. You find that type of situation, where you go to college and you get a degree and you learn all this specific methods of treatments or whatever that they use, and then you think you know something, and see, we do this experiment, we do this test, and it shows this, therefore this is true, and that's how I know it. Yeah, whatever. That's just ridiculous. I mean, the people that are bringing us our understanding of science, of biology, and all of it, all of the technicals that you might learn in college, they're completely proven liars and absolutely untrustworthy. And, they only tell the truth in so much that they can get you to believe the lie part. If they could lie all the time, they probably would. But they tell enough truth to, confuse people and keep them guessing. Because if I look around what I see, and that we're not living longer, healthier lives thanks to vaccines, that is a lie. Obviously. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. I was going to say that's a misunderstanding, or they're mistaken, or it's exaggerated. No, it's a out and out lie. It's a lie. It's obvious that it's a lie if you're over the age of, let's say, 20. Because 20 years ago, there were still some old people around that weren't, on oxygen bottles and hover around wheelchairs, that walked and talked and did their own things and drove their own car and stuff. 40 years ago, you would see people with gray and silver hair. They would be 60 and 70 years old, not 40. The deterioration of our country, the deterioration of our nation has been in lockstep with that right there. When that stuff started happening here in the Pacific Northwest around this area in 2008, that's about the time the deterioration starts. And now it's going on 2025. So at 14 years, something like that. Anyway, that's how long it takes. I started getting so sick I couldn't run my shop within 5 years of that crap. By 2015, I was like barely functional. I had to leave my shop and go become homeless and start selling off stuff because I couldn't function. And you can see my videos if you want. I'm not lying. And it's only gotten worse since then. I mean, I'm better because of my crazy treatments, but that nobody else will consider. And I know people that I can tell they're messed up and they need something, but no doctor's gonna help them. Doctor's gonna be, gee whiz, give us your blood and we'll do some tests and see what we can come up with. Yeah, give the witch doctors your blood and they'll help you, right? Whatever. And what's with the commercials on YouTube now? It's like, St. Jude's Children's Cancer Hospital. Did you know that in the 60s, there were no children's cancer hospitals? The 60s wasn't that long ago. Okay, it's within living people's memories. Okay, there was no children's cancer hospital in the 60s. Anywhere. Because, why? Because children didn't have cancer. That's something that happened to older people, and it was called consumption for a long time, and it was from consumption and consumption in itself. In other words, people who got it were consuming a lot of things and too much good stuff, and then the disease consumed them, and it was called consumption. And it took a while for that to happen because you had to get old, and start having those types of problems. Children didn't have those types of problems. Now children are born with cancer, and Dr. So-and-so told me that it's absolutely perfectly normal. Everybody's born with cancer. Now we know, thank goodness. It's just whether you live long enough for it to be a problem, you see. For some reason now, children have a big problem with having cancer. I guess they were born wrong. Maybe their fathers had weak sperm, and so their children are just deficient. That makes a lot of sense. Right, thanks, Bill Hicks. Weak sperm. Now there's a children's cancer hospital in every major city in the country, giving kids injections of radioactive poison, making their little hairs fall out, trying to save their lives. It's a good thing. Get your training today. In as little as 6 to 8 weeks, you could be injecting children with radioactive poison in a desperate attempt to save their lives. Watch the little bald children roll around in their wheelchairs at the hospitals that are in every major city now that never existed before. It makes a lot of sense. Let's never question it. Yay for America.